Hi, I'm It's Me Serial, and today I'm going to be telling you guys about the Thai Alpha Jet in the Japanese tech tree. This one at 8.7 is a bit of a hidden gem. I've seen one video on it by General Lee, and that's the only video I've seen. Nobody else, as far as I can tell, has covered it. And it's a bit of a hidden gem at 8.7. I already enjoyed the German Alpha Jet when I grinded it from stock to spaded. This one is so much better, and I'll get into the differences in a moment. But first, I'm going to meet Schlorp Def in a bit, because holy crap, dude, you make this seem so easy to do. I have been recording this voiceover for 4 hours now. I have deleted every single take I've done because I always mess it up, and this is completely unscripted. I'm just going off the cuff like it sounds like you do, because I like that. So I'm going to try my best to do the same thing, but you're going to get Timu Defen all the way up to I used to ride motorcycles like he does currently, but I'll explain later why I don't anymore. Going back to the jet, my gag reflexes kicked in. I can't really Schlorp Defen's meat anymore. If you've played the regular Alpha Jets, the German and the French one, you can already kind of tell why this thing is special. Look at this thing's climb. I'm already going Mach 0.76 and accelerating in a 15-degree climb. I am dusting a MiG 15 bis in a climb, and it's not even close. So I put together a little 0 mile per hour to 650 mile per hour acceleration test, just to show how big the performance difference is, even between a Hunter F.6 and a CL-13B Mark 6. And I even threw in the old German Alpha Jet just so that you can see the sheer difference. All of these are spaded. The Hunter and the CL-13 are in the fuel quantity that I would take. The two Alpha Jets are both minimum fuel. I did my best to fly them as neutral as possible in terms of climb, so there's no real wasted energy there. I did my best to keep them level, just getting above the trees and flying straight. I didn't do a perfect job, but the differences are negligible. The gaps in performance are so huge that a slight minute difference in how I flew them early on is not going to make enough of a difference to make up for the gaps in time. So it's still a pretty definitive test, and it starts at the frame where the throttle goes from 0% up. So as soon as it goes to a different throttle percent, that is the start frame, and as soon as ground speed hits 650 miles an hour, that is the end frame. And you can see in the short little time I've been explaining this, Thai Alpha Jet's already almost there. So I thought the Hunter Mark 6 would do so much better. I thought the CL-13B would do so much better, but I was shocked to see this thing do it almost 10 seconds faster than the Hunter F Mark 6, 15 seconds faster than the other Alpha Jet, exactly, and a whole 22 or 23 seconds faster than the CL-13B. I thought this thing would be about equivalent to those two on the bottom, a little worse maybe, not better, not that much better. It's not even close. Getting into some gameplay, this first clip here, this is the first game I recorded. I recorded 5, I will show you 4 of them. The only one I cut out, and you're gonna see there is some bad gameplay in this video, so it's not like I'm throwing it out just because it's bad and I'm cherry picking. I'm just not including it because this recording's already 24 minutes long and I cut out a bunch already. So yeah, I cut out the one that was a team of this thing's nemesis, which is actually down tiers. You don't want to be top tier fighting a bunch of MiG 15 bisses. You will lose. Every single loss I have in this thing is against a MiG 15 bis team because they just stomp your team. And this thing can't 1v10 MiG 15s. So yeah, this thing's playstyle in down tiers, if you're not fighting MiG 15 bisses, is pretty akin to an F-84G that is faster, that accelerates, that can climb, because you climb so much faster than everything else that you are there before they expect you. And you'll see later on in this video, I kill an F-84G, that's just not expecting me to be there. So yeah, this thing's whole gimmick is just its climb rate, its acceleration, and the fact that it can pull 15 Gs as soon as you go even slightly below 600 miles an hour. I get so close on this shot. Look, it goes just under his wing. If I hit that, it would have been beautiful, but it would have done no damage. This gun's gimmick is you have to hit center mass. You hit tail, you hit wing, you're doing no damage. You're gonna get a hit. You maybe knock off a rudder or an elevator or something. But if you hit center mass, you usually collapse the entire aircraft, or you get a little pilot snipe at, 700 meters because the dude's not respecting your threat. So this gun is kind of the bread and butter for dealing with jets faster than you, because they're not faster than the gun. And the acceleration difference is so huge between this and every jet at BR that I can't catch a Saber in a straight line, or a Hunter, but I can make them turn with the gun, and every time they turn, I get that little bit closer. So this gun is the bread and butter, but it's also the Achilles heel. But I can't really blame it on the skill issue that you're about to witness in a few moments. It just is what it is. It's painful. This is going to be hard to watch, and it's not the Tunnin. I skill issued a little bit, but I'm just going to pull him up, get him slow. My teammate's going to lick him up. Is what it is. The F80C that I set on fire gets licked up by a teammate. Is what it is. Get an assist. I don't really care. Teammate's alive because of it. He was chasing somebody. He was no longer chasing somebody because he was damaged. So now I'm picking up a bit of speed, turning back around to help out the MD450. I just don't want to deal with an F80C while I'm slow, because that thing is a monster. That is my second favorite jet. That thing will 1v1 MiG-15s all day long because it has infinite wep right now. So here's where the skill issue starts, and this made me want to uninstall the game. I can't blame the jet. I can't blame the gun mount position. I can't blame anything. This thing is already awkward to aim because the gun is super far down on the bottom. If you've played the Harriers, you know kind of how bad it is, or like the Lightning, stuff like that, where the gun is super low. But this thing's roll rate also makes it worse because the negative elevator is essentially useless, the rudder is essentially useless, so the mouse aim compensates by constantly rolling the aircraft, and it constantly wants to roll back to neutral, back to flat, whenever you're not moving. So you can see the wings are constantly turning, which is moving where the gun is pointing, just that little bit, and it makes it really hard to aim. But this isn't the reason why I'm missing. It's not helping, but I'm missing because I'm just bad. This is skill issue. This is the ultimate, do you need a tissue for your skissue? Do I need to call you a ambulance moment? Because holy shit, please, just kill him. Maybe here, no, I get a hit, maybe here, maybe here, maybe here. Finally, and you see I hit center mass, instant severe damage. I hit the wing, I get a hit. And you can see my frustration here. I'm just over it. And I get even more frustrated with this next clip. It's a F9F. He's clearly pretty damaged. He's going slow. He was just in a fight with somebody. The teammate left him. He's not severed or anything like that. He's just, you know, flying. He's damaged, going back to base. My teammate went back to base, probably out of ammo or something. And, you know, more skissue. I need a tissue, man. I'm frustrated as hell. I can't even blame being rusty or anything like that. I had been playing for a few hours before I started this recording session, just on stream, warming up. But I have no patience for this next part, because how is that a hit? That's his wing gone. How is that a hit? He wasn't even severely damaged. How is that a hit? How is that not a kill credit? How is that not a crit or a severe? How is that a hit? This next clip, I'm gonna yap over it. It's just me running away from a Saber. All you gotta do to get away from the Sabers is just roll slightly left and right, make them pull a little bit to get their cursor on you, and it'll slow them down enough for you to actually be faster. So that's all you gotta do for them. Anyways, I'm gonna talk over this now. I have been playing this game for like 13 years or so, but I'm not a super elite veteran like Defin or whatever. I'm not super good at the game. I'm just pretty good. At least that's what I like to think. But I do play with a bit of a handicap, literally, because my left arm is paralyzed. I had a motorcycle accident in November 2023, and I'm very thankful to be alive, but it did leave me with a paralyzed left arm. So it's not something that's depressing to me. It's not something that I want pity for. I'm just explaining that I am still capable of playing this game, even with just one arm. So you just got to make do with what you got. I'm making do just fine. I play with a special mouse that has enough keys for me to play anything below like radar missile era. I can't play anything with radar missiles. It's just too many keys. I can't do it. I don't really want to anyways. I prefer gunfighter jets. They're just more fun to me. So yeah, that's the disability that I play with. But like I said, it doesn't really depress me or whatever. I stream under the same name that I use in game, and on YouTube it's me Serial. If you want to come by and ask me questions, I stream basically every day. Maybe not on weekends, but I try to. But feel free to ask me questions about my accident or any vehicles in the game. I specifically aircraft. I don't really know tanks, but If you got questions on aircraft, I can usually answer it, or I can figure it out. Or you can just come by and hang out, have fun. I listen to some fun music, play some fun games. Yeah. Anyways, away from the shameless promotion, you saw more skill issue on that saber. I promise you the aim will get better, maybe. Yeah, it will eventually, maybe. So this next part, it's going to be a little 1v1 with this demon. Not really the biggest skill in the world. All you got to do with the demons is just take them up, get them slow, and you can rate fight them all day, every day. They can't missile you because you have flares, and their radar missiles are just useless other than in head-ons, so you can just kind of deal with the demon really easy. And you see I'm just rating him like crazy. He's falling out of the sky, he goes down and accelerates. So anyways, now I start to chase him. I'm not really going to catch him, obviously, but I have the acceleration to kind of keep up, get close. And like you saw earlier with me shooting at that F2 saber in the first bit, or in that first game, this gun is really accurate at range. So I may not be hitting him, but I'm getting close enough that he needs to turn. He needs to do something, because I will hit him, and it may not do a lot of damage, but I will. And so I just keep chasing him, taking little pot shots, and right about here, I start to hear, you know, a noise, a jet. You know, it's schizophrenia thunder, right? No, there's an F2 saber right here. He's going a bit slow, and I can see that by the little wing vortices coming off the tips. So I know he's going slow, I know he's pulling hard. I just go immediately up. The F3H is not fast enough to turn around for me. I just want to get behind the saber, so I'm getting slow, banking my altitude, or banking my speed into altitude. Now I'm cashing it back in for speed. And look at this acceleration. Not going to have a problem catching the saber. Now the demon starts to turn around, so I need to split my focus between the two. I go defensive. I don't even try for the head-on. Why would I head-on 420 mils with 127, which is not the easiest to aim at head-on? I'll just get past the head-on, take him vertical, look back around for the saber. Saber's turning back around. He will be able to pull in for this, so I'm just going down, getting speed where I can, trying to make it a little bit harder to hit the shot. Get a bit lucky, he misses. And now I just start going vertical, because neither of them can compete with me in this. Especially not short-term, maybe long-term they could. I don't really know. They'd ever really make it. And that F3H wasn't behind me, but he definitely was past 180 degrees. And within one loop, I'm already getting the kill shot on him. And look, center mass, severe damage. That is where this gun shines, is when you hit center mass. If you hit wings, nothing. And now this saber decides, smartly, to just run away, because he can't compete. He's going to lose. He knows it. So, oh, what's that over to the left? That's his little special friend, called his airfield. But really, it's my airfield, right? Because, like, I'm just going to go land and rearm real quick mid-battle. I only have, like, 26 rounds left, so, you know, I got to land rearm. I only got 2.5 minutes of fuel. So he's guiding me right to my airfield that I want to go land at. You know, I'm skill issuing on the aim again. It is what it is. So I go up. I just want to make sure I get a really good, clear look at my airfield as it's shooting the SAMs at him, right? Those are blue triangles shooting at the F2 saber. So anyways, I land and rearm, and then, you know, the footage corrupts, so I just move on to the next game. And here I'm diving on a B-57. I decide not to go for the A4 and go for the B-57 just because it's the easy target. I want to get guns out of the game, because this is a B model, you can tell. It's blue or gray, whatever. Don't even talk about the aim. I don't want to talk about it, alright? It's more skishu. Need another tissue, need another ambulance. Boohoo, wah. I get a hit. Knock off an elevator. Because I didn't hit center mass. It is what it is. So, now I'm going to loop. There's nobody really around besides the B-57 and that saber. Same saber from last game, now that I'm realizing it. So, you know, if I thought about it in-game, but I was kind of distracted, didn't really care, I would have got revenge on him, but I didn't. But he kind of gets revenge on himself in a second, as you'll see. Licked up the B-57. As I've been repeating, hit center mass, he dies. Pretty extensive death. It's a lot of damage. Planes exploded, collapsed, folded. Bro ate too many hamburgers, was going too slow, was too fat, easy kill. So, chasing the saber, he lawn darts, friendly J-34 lawn darts. I'll draw your attention to the kill feed. They both crashed. Neither of them were damaged. They both just crashed. So, you know, I don't feel too bad about not killing the saber. Friendly MiG-19 almost rams me twice. I still get the kill because, you know, I'm not phased. I'm just that much of a man. Smile. So yeah, Get the kill on the A4. Now I'm gonna go for the MiG-15, the Lazy Glupnik. Yeah, this thing is just a little monster. I want to see more people fly this thing because it's fun. I've seen like 6 people fly it. There's a severe damage. For once, shooting a MiG-15's wing off isn't a hit. It's a severe. Hallelujah. The like 4th game after this one, after I stopped recording, I shot 2 MiG-15 wings off. Both of them were hits. And in this next clip, I give this F-104 a little taste of what his buddy got because I also give him a left arm removal. I shot off his left wing. You know, I don't have a left arm. MiG-15 no longer has a left wing. F-104 no longer has a left wing. I apparently have some problem with left-sided things, apparently. And I don't mean politically, I mean actual physical side on an object, apparently. I don't know. So yeah, I hit that shot. He goes on later, dies. Next target is the F3H2. That other F-104 I took a pot shot at about the same range, but I missed because skishu. This guy, I just do my usual, dodge the head-on, pull up, because he's never going to pull into that. And I'm pulling 15 Gs, 14 Gs. Yeah, I'm dumping a bit of speed, but I'll get it back quick. The F3H won't. But what he also won't receive is any bullets, because, again, skishu. I promise the aim will get better. I promise, I will repeat that till I die. I may be wrong, but the aim will get better. That is just what I have to believe with this jet. But also, that's what I have to believe with this recording, because, you know, skishu. My friendly scimitar also skishus because that guy just crashes. But I'm going to take kill credit anyways. This was an ace game, actually, not 4 kills. Because that wasn't the F-104 dying, that was the F3H. The F-104 already died. Smile, don't look at the kill feed, please. Anyways, on to an ace game, and another side note, when I said earlier this thing kind of plays like an air spawn jet, when you get an actual air spawn, your advantage with the climb rate is diminished pretty severely because everything now has an air spawn, and yeah, your acceleration's better, your climb rate's better, but the performance gap has been severely narrowed. You can see that F-Saber's above me. He's going quite slow, but he's above me. So I actually have to respect him. I don't have to respect that A4. I'm just going to ignore him. At worst, he has 9 Bs. I'm not afraid. So yeah, I just turn in, make sure that guy can't shoot at me. Don't really care about the A4, like I said earlier. He can just be ignored. It's whatever. It is what it is. I'm just going to keep turning with this F-Saber because I can. I outrate it, I out-accelerate it, I out-everything it besides top speed. Even roll rate, I beat it. Even firepower, if you don't like 50 cals, which I do. But yeah, this thing, it's a pretty respectable fighter. The F-Series Sabers can't really do anything to it. The A-Saber can out-pull it until it's out of speed, which doesn't take long when you're in the Alpha Jet because it's going to be out of speed compared to you within like a turn because you just have so much acceleration. Your energy retention's pretty decent for being an Alpha Jet, pulling so much angle of attack, pulling so much degree a second turn. And yeah, I'm going 400. I'm going pretty slow. I got enemies above me. I'm just going to point my nose forward. I'm just going to leave. I'm not afraid. I can get away from basically any situation. Look, an F-Saber that's going a little faster than me. Not anymore. He's not going to catch me. He's just going to dip. It is what it is. I drop a couple flares, hoping to maybe help out the MiG-15 friendly. I don't think it actually mattered, but, you know, the thought that counts. I'm going to turn back around, even though I'm still going kind of slow. I want to keep this guy alive. The Alpha Jet is kind of a carry jet, but it's not a solo carry jet. You do need some teammates at least, because you need somebody to keep people off of you. Because once you're slow, yeah, you have good acceleration, but if you get mobbed by 5 or 4 people, you're not getting away, no matter how good your acceleration is. That's every single jet. So you want to try and keep teammates alive. So I'm doing my best to even just be a distraction in this case, because I may not be getting kills, but I'm at least getting them to pull away from him for a minute or whatever, or second guess pulling onto him. So I'm just doing what I can to help him. He does end up dying. It's kind of sad. It's my fault for kind of skissuing, but not much I can do. I'm a single person. Here's where the aim gets a little bit better. I don't hit a nice fancy shot or whatever. I do actually even miss the first couple, but center mass, he folds. Like I've been saying this whole time, center mass. F-80C behind me. Oh no, I'm scared. He's gonna, oh, never mind. He's not gonna turn with me anymore. He's gonna turn with the ground. A-Saber, I'm going kind of slow. So what I'm gonna do is just, you know, try and jink the best I can, use my flaps, get out of the way. You do what you gotta do. The flaps on this thing, very powerful. You can drop them at relatively high-ish speeds, and they pull a lot. but they also bleed a lot more speed. So you want to be very sparse in using them, only when you have to, and for very brief, like second long periods. You do not want to leave them out, even at low speeds. They will just drain your balls, and you will go from 1,000 Big Macs to maybe 1 French fry. So, you know, a bit more steel and deafen. Sorry. I'm like Timu Defen right now, but it is what it is. I'm not going to help. I'm going to try to help the LA200, that is. I'm not going to catch him is what I meant to say. I can't. But my acceleration puts me to a point where I can kind of keep up somewhat in this climb. And once he starts to turn because of Valtor's catching him, I can get close and I can help out, which I'm going to. At least I'm going to try. The LA200, spoiler, does end up dying in a moment here. Not right here, but he does end up dying. But I'm doing what I can to try and help out. I'm getting up here. Look at how little speed I'm losing in this near vertical. So the thrust is just doing a lot for me right now. I don't remember, do I hit the shot? Yeah, I do. Center mass, he explodes. This gun is all about center mass, and I don't know if it's the APHE or the regular HE that's the one that does all the damage. I tried stealth out, and I wanted to not exist on the planet anymore because holy crap, I cannot aim this gun without the tracer. It's just difficult, man, and you see 2 non-center mass shots, no kill. That's just how this gun is. You're just gonna have to accept that if you want to fly it. Cougar, I don't know what you're doing, buddy. You're never winning this fight. You see I'm dropping the flaps for maybe a quarter of a second. You see in the bottom. You really don't want to use the flaps that much. They are very bad for your energy state. But I haven't been doing anything special this game. I feel like most jets could kind of do what this thing was doing in this game to get this ace. And more skishu on the aim here, but this gun is not easy to aim. If you fly the jet, you'll figure it out. It's not easy, but yeah, it's a really good jet. I like it. It's definitely not meta. It's not meta setting, but it is very sneakily good. And the way I discovered this jet, I'm gonna get my last kill here with a blind hunt that I didn't need because I just had to look down. But the way that I discovered this jet was by flying the German one, and I had it spaded, and I came up against an Alpha Jet A with a roundel. I had no idea what it was because I hadn't played the game in like a year. I came back to do the event, and well, the Flapjack event that's been over for like a week now or whatever, and I came back to play that, and I damaged one of these in a 1v1 where I had an energy advantage, and within 2 turns it already had so much more energy than me, and he didn't do anything special. He just looped. He did 2 loops, and he was already going like 100 miles an hour faster than me, and he was pretty critically damaged because I hit him center mass, and it didn't kill him, but I'm pretty sure it blacked the entire fuselage, and he was just perfectly fine. So yeah, this thing is pretty special. It's really good. I would highly suggest, if you're new to jets, maybe going for this thing, because it kind of handholds you in a lot of ways. It's not an easy jet because the gun is hard, but the flight performance can kind of carry you, and the BR is pretty nice because at worst you see 9.7, and your worst case scenario matchup, if I mentioned it earlier, I think I did, your worst case scenario matchup is a team of MiG-15 Bisses in a down tier. You don't want to see down tiers. You actually want to see supersonics because I usually win against them. I usually lose against the MiGs, and that's just how it is. Anyways, thank you for making it this far. If you watched the entire video, I really appreciate you. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button. If you didn't, dislike the video. It just tells me what you like or don't like. And yeah, thank you for watching the video.